Chapter 104 Forest of Demonic Beasts. Behind King Zhenan, the four masters of the imperial capital followed closely behind, and there were also some other strong members of the imperial capital who had participated in the battle at Mount Fengdu, who also disembarked from the ship. After the old city lord of Fengdu and King Zhenan said their goodbyes, the giant ship once again let out a tremor and shattered the void. Everyone, Mr. Sun will be taking the first step. One of the four masters of the imperial capital, Sunji, arched his hand towards Zhao Wuji and the others, then left. Zhao Wuji nodded towards Jin San Xiao and also left with him. He didn't even look at Li Yuanba, causing Li Yuanba to be very angry, glaring at Zhao Wuji with fire in his eyes. "Don't look, people have left," Jin San Xiao said with a smile, then said with a straight face, "Regarding your family's old seven and my brother's battle contract, I will immediately announce the imperial capital. If you guys dare to play any tricks, don't blame me, Jin San Xiao, for going too far." "HMPH, as you wish." Li Yuanba snorted coldly at his words and left in large strides. Jin San Xiao smiled grimly, then revealed a trace of emotion. "Brothers, the next time you come to the imperial capital, it's up to you to perform. Don't let me down. I, Jin San Xiao, will never do a losing business, or else, he. Heavy Iron City. Ever since Kangchon destroyed Lin Beishan, Heavy Iron City had never been so lively as today. Because Li Tianfang, the head of the Li family, who had been away for a long time, had come back, and still came back with a group of Li family sons and daughters. And it was said that he was going to get a Li family branch in Heavy Iron City, and continue to branch out here. This time, Li Tianfang was returning home with his clothes on his back, because with the help of the imperial capital's Li family, this old kid had already stepped into the Jidan stage at the moment, even though he had only stepped into the Jidan stage at the first transformation realm, which was 100,000 miles worse than Kangchon. But no matter what, this old boy is also a high-ranking person of the Jidan stage. In the small city of Heavy Iron City, it is still popular. This is not the case. A large group of neighbors are polite to him, one by one to visit. That hilarity, simply than when the Kangchon blade beheading Lin Beishan even more powerful. Congratulations to Elder Li for being honored as a Jidan. In the hall of the former Li family, one by one visitors came to congratulate him. Almost all the dignified people of Heavy Iron City came. Li Tianfang, standing in the middle of the hall with a red face, clasped his fists in greeting. "Alas, I really didn't expect something like that to happen to the Lin and Wang families in the past. What a tragedy." Looking at the lively crowd, Li Tianfang was filled with emotion. Apart from helping the Li family's children to spread their branches here this time, he also wanted to demonstrate in front of Lin Beishan and Wang Tixiong, his two former rivals. But he just didn't expect such a change to happen in Heavy Iron City after he left. His former strongest rival, Lin Beishan, was beheaded by Kangchon, and the entire Lin family was wiped out. And the Wang family, apart from Kangchon and Wang Tixiong, were also exterminated. It could be said that it was truly a fish death net. I didn't expect Lin Beishan to end up advancing to the Jidan stage, one step faster than old me. What is even more surprising, that Kangchon, that kid has reached such a point that he beheaded Lin Beishan at the Jidan stage, without having formed a Dan. This natural talent is not below the heavenly pride are. What's even more damnable, that even that old guy Wang Tixiong formed, damn one step ahead of me. What a lucky old kid. Li Tianan was not without emotion in his heart. At this time, a youth walked past the Li mansion's front door and instantly attracted everyone's attention, including Li Tianfang as well, because this youth was carrying a sarcophagi on his shoulders, and even more so because this youth's face was so familiar. Kangchon. The crowd was instantly shocked. Wasn't this youth in front of them precisely Kangchon, who had left Heavy Iron City for many days? Since Kang Chon's earth-shattering battle with Lim Baishan, the entire Heavy Iron City knew him, no one else did. And his face was recognized even by 5 or 6-year-old children. Kang Chon. Li Qianfang abruptly saw Kang Chon, first froze for a moment, then shouted, "Something wrong?" Kang Chon carried the sarcophagus and turned back to ask coldly. He didn't have much good feelings towards the Li family. Li Qianfang's tone was stagnant. Then he sighed and said, "Your Wong family's matter old man has heard about it. I also hope that you will be sorry for your loss. What are the needs of the old man, despite telling me? Old man will definitely help. After all, the Li family and the Wong family have been friends for many years." "No need," Kang Chon said coldly, then turned around and left. Li Qianfang was filled with embarrassment. He did not expect Kang Chon to give him so little face. At least he was a Jidan stage powerhouse. His heart could not help but still be a little displeased. "Stop!" Suddenly, a loud shout came from the side. A young son of the Li family ran out and shouted angrily at Kang Chon. "Kang Chon, do you know how to be polite? Is this how you talk when you see seniors? Sure enough, you are a fatherless child, wild boy." Li Qianfang did not stop. He felt that Kang Chon had gone too far. How to say that he was also his elder is right. "What did you say? Say it again." Kang Chon stopped his footsteps and turned around. His blade-like eyes swept fiercely towards this young son of the Li family. His icy voice filled with a murderous aura. "Fatherless child, wild boy." This was Kang Chon's taboo. His scales. I said you are a wild boy, fatherless child. No manners at all. What's wrong?" That Li family disciple was stunned by Kang Chon's eyes. Then feeling ashamed and angry, he once again shouted, "Nothing's wrong. It's just death." When Kang Chon heard this, he smiled coldly. Li Qianfang on the side was abruptly startled. And before he could stop himself, he saw a bloody head flying high above the ground and landing on the ground. In the void, a radiant blade on, from the neck of that young Li family son ******** out. The crowd was instantly shocked. This scene came too suddenly. Although they hadn't expected that Kang Chon would kill a young Li family's son at such a time, in front of Li Qianfang. "Kang Chon!" Li Qianfang's furious voice came out. Li Qianfang glared at Kang Chon with a face full of rage, an old face trembling with anger, showing the unrest in his heart at the moment. Not far away on the ground, a bloody head fell there, and a pair of eyes on the head stared blankly, as if they couldn't believe that they had died just like that. Scarlet blood, spilling a large area, fell on the ground, appearing somewhat hideous and terrifying. The originally lively and noisy front gate of the Li family was suddenly plunged into silence, and the crowd of onlookers all closed their breaths and watched this scene with shocked faces. No one could have imagined that Kang Chon would strike when he said he would. The crowd didn't even have time to react. A bloody head had already fallen to the ground. At the moment when Li Qianfang was returning home in his clothes, this kind of thing happened. This was completely a slap in his face. How could he tolerate this kind of shame? "Why did you kill him?" Li Qianfang glared at Kang Chon, his fists clenched in his hands. His pale face was filled with anger. "After saying something you shouldn't have said, you have to be prepared for death," Kang Chon said coldly, then turned around and left, as if he had just done an insignificant thing, causing the crowd to be stunned. Li Qianfang was instantly furious. With a flash of his body, he stopped in front of Kang Chon. He said in a cold voice, "You want to leave after killing someone? You haven't put old me in your eyes too much." Saying that, a powerful pressure of the Jidan stage swept across the area, and a fierce wind raged, with an unbounded aura. "You are not qualified to enter my eyes," Kang Chon said with an icy gaze. Li Qianfang's eyes immediately narrowed, and an icy cold aura shot out from them at first. But right at this moment, a powerful aura rose from Kang Chon's body and came crashing down on his face like a titanic pressure. without the slightest blocking force. Li Chuanfang instantly spewed out a mouthful of blood and flew out backwards. The crowd of onlookers from afar all sucked in a breath of cool air. The hallowed Jidan stage powerhouse didn't even have a chance to make a move in front of Kang Qian. Had this sun's strength become so powerful? HMPH. Kang Qian snorted coldly, carrying the two sarcophagi, and continued to advance. The surrounding crowd took in his might. One by one hurriedly got out of the way and watched him go far away. In the distance, Li Chuanfang, who flew out backwards, climbed up. A pair of deep eyes watched Kang Qian leaving. He did not make another move. After all, he was not an idiot. The other party was able to seriously injure him based on his aura alone, and he was not a one-trick pony if he really made a move. Little beast, Chunjiao will clean you up for the old man. Li Chunjiao was incomparably angry, but he knew that he could only rely on Li Chunjiao to avenge this revenge. The surrounding crowd was silent, only leaving their hearts in awe. Since then, the Li family refused to welcome guests. A lively banquet was disturbed by this sudden storm. However, the heavy iron city was still incredibly lively, with endless discussions about Kang Qian. Even City Lord Yong Zhenan was incomparably surprised when he learnt of Kang Qian's return. And at this moment, Kang Qian had already carried the sarcophagus to the mountain behind the royal residence. What exactly happened here? Originally, after the baptism of the thunderbolt, the mountain behind the royal mansion should have been vibrant, but now all that was left was a bare rocky mountain, with a sinister aura flowing out of the gloomy atmosphere. Kang Qian couldn't help but feel puzzled in his heart. Originally, he still wanted to bury Ant King and the Grand Elder in the back of the mountain, but now it seems that I'm afraid it won't be possible. He felt a terrifying aura gradually spreading in this place, and it wouldn't take long for it to spread all over the back of the mountain. It's coming from within the underground cave. It should be that the blood coffin that has undergone a mutation. Emperor Dan Zhuanying came out from within the reverse heavenly cauldron and flew to the side. He scanned the entire back mountain of the royal mansion with a grave expression, then said in a deep voice. Kang Qian was stunned at his words. A blood coffin. Could it be that the fire drought had awakened? If that was really the case, then wouldn't Heavy Iron City be in danger? Should I relay this to the Heavy Iron City Lord? Kang Qian hesitated for a while. He felt that his words might not be believed by others. And once the City Lord passed the matter on to the Great Tang Imperial family, and the Great Tang Imperial family made any wrong moves which led to the fire drought demon awakening early, then the disaster would be even more serious. Kid, hurry up and get out of here. It won't be long before this place will be like Mount Fengdu, Emperor Dan said gruffly, then re-entered the heaven reversing cauldron. Kang Qian nodded and left carrying the sarcophagus. He felt that there was no need to notify the City Lord for the time being, as the strange changes in the back mountain would always be hidden, and soon the entire Heavy Iron City would inevitably find out. Carrying the sarcophagus, Kang Qian then left Heavy Iron City and found a piece of Feng Shui land 100 miles outside the city to bury Ant King and the Grand Elder. Since then, all of his affairs in Heavy Iron City were over, and now only the 3-year war contract remained. Kang Qian couldn't help but look into the distance, a chilling coldness radiating from his eyes. Back then, when the Li family's 7th elder bullied him into being young, if it wasn't for Jin Sanxiao intercepting him, he might have been killed by the other party. This revenge he would not forget. After leaving Heavy Iron City, Kang Qian traveled all the way east. Half a month later, he came to the edge of the forest of demonic beasts. Looking at the endless mountain range of demonic beasts, Kang Qian revealed a determined look. He was going to pass through this place and head to the imperial capital. If others knew that he was traveling a path, they would definitely think that he was impatient with life. Although the imperial capital was on the other side of the forest of demonic beasts, and traveling to the imperial capital from here was the closest path, Very few people in the entire Great Tang Kingdom dared to take that path, because the forest of demonic beasts was filled with countless crises. There were powerful demonic beasts in here, and even some powerful demonic beasts that had reached the yuanying stage were not in the minority, so normally cultivators only dared to move around the edges, and very few people dared to cross over from here.